Hey angels, I hope you're well. This reading is going to be for my Libra sun, moon, and risings. And before I get into any of the cards, the feeling that seems to be coming through is kind of one that's been in apathy recently. And it's almost like trying to feel alive again, okay? Now, I know that's starting off a little bit heavy, but I feel like this is the energy that you're moving through. This is going to be for kind of like a 2-week period, like what's coming in. But let's address this energy first. So I actually got 4 songs for this collective. The first is Ballad of Big Nothing by Elliott Smith. Then we have Best by the band Frog. You could also be in some nostalgia right now. I'm even getting like Blockbuster with Best Buy. Then we have Boulevard Nights by Team Sleep. Night Drives could be relevant. And then Lucky by Britney Spears. And the initial B could be relevant as well because all of these songs start with a B, and then Lucky by Britney Spears, B for Britney, okay? But particularly Lucky was heavily channeled. And you know, the chorus goes like, she's so lovely, she's a star, but she cries in her lonely car, thinking, if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? So it's kind of also perhaps not understanding where this either emotion or perhaps even apathy, like where the numbness is coming from. But we have 8 of Cups and the Magician. And so I do think that this period is almost something that you've manifested, and I don't mean that in a negative way, though that may sound negative, or you might be looking at it in a negative context because of the devil on the bottom here. But it's like, this is making me think of a clip I saw of Lana Del Rey earlier, where she was talking about how she believes in firmly you have to close the door on something to bring in the good. Like, key has to be thrown away, walked away from for good. And perhaps, especially with nostalgia coming through, it could be walking away from an old version of yourself to having to walk away from a person, job, environment, whatever. But it's the acknowledgement that something has ended. But with it, you're bringing in the good, you're bringing in the new, you're going to see why it is that you are lucky. There also may be a desire, I'm feeling like, to reconcile with someone at this time, but I do not feel like it is in your best interest to do so. And not even necessarily that it will never happen, but now is not the time to be focusing on that. And as I say that, we have the 8 of Swords with the Queen of Cups. I feel like in 5 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I feel like it's almost like you want your heart to be open again. You want to be able to feel and to receive. There might even be, part of you that knows that you need to process certain emotions and you're wanting them to come up, but you're almost moving through this in your headspace rather than your heart. I have heavy Gemini and Cancer in my chart, so I'm air and water. And I tend to feel that too at times, where it's like I'm somebody that's definitely sensitive and I feel all the things at times, but then sometimes I shut down internally if I am trying to walk through it too much in my head. If I am trying to think, why do I feel this way? What does this mean? What did that mean? What did the experience mean? What did that person mean by that? But sometimes you just have to feel. You have to allow the heart and the body to do what it needs to do. I also feel like moving your hips in particular, or doing like, is it in yoga the like hip flexor stretches that are supposed to really open you up? I feel like that could be relevant right now. Because what I'm mainly feeling is there are just things that you are needing to move through. Yeah, and it's like once you put in the work, to process, to acknowledge, to move through these, you are moving on to peace. And peace being that you access yourself again. Also, I just want to take a moment here. If this is the first time you've seen me, my name is Katie. I am in Angelhood Readings. I will never DM you first. You can only book a reading with me at my website in angelhoodreadings.com. And if you would prefer a live reading over a recorded reading, after you book how much time you want on the website, feel free to email me and we can set up a time that works well for the both of us. But let's continue here. We have the Knight of Pentacles, Death, and the Nine of Cups. Yeah, you're coming along in this process because I don't know what's going on astrologically for you, Libra, especially like Libra risings, but it's almost like this point, Page of Wands on the bottom, it's almost like this point has been arranged for you to come to. And it's like, once you truly do leave this behind, I'm not even seeing like Nine of Cups. It's like, oh, you're immediately going to get what you want. I feel like this is more important. It's like you're going to know what you want. I feel like you might not even know what you want right now. And I feel that for many aspects of your life. This is like a, you know, this word is used a lot in this sphere, but it is like a rebirth of sorts. We had the Page of Pentacles fly off with the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's very much about, like, once you start opening yourself up to moving through these possibly painful things, it's like that's going to quickly bring in new opportunities, new people. It is, I'm seeing like a web, and you're catching things in your web. You're catching things in your web that are meant for you to consume. Like they're yours. And that's not going to miss you. You can't miss this. It's just more so of the pacing of it that you have control over at this time. But the Hermit and the Three of Swords, you have to allow yourself to do that soul searching of what's wounding you. And again, it's not that you have to analyze why it's wounding you or why it had to happen, but it's more so about allowing yourself to feel those feelings and not repress, not hold back the sort of emotional turbulence that might come with that. And the more that you resist it, the more difficult the aftermath becomes because it has to come out one way or another. So you may as well acknowledge it consciously so it doesn't pour out in destructive ways. But anyway, that's what I have for my Libras today. I love you all so much, and I will see you next time.